Hello everyone, and welcome back to my sketchbook tours. Today we're doing number 30. I think I started this about 2 years ago, and I just recently finished it. I think I got this for Christmas. I don't know why it's so blurry. And I used these colored pencils to decorate the front. I spelled sketchbook wrong. Yeah, I put that there to try to hold it together because some of the pages were tearing out, so just ignore that. So, welcome to my sketchbook. There's the date that I started it, and I did not put the date in that I finished it. I'll just put in today's date, because today's date. Okay, so I think I started this 2 years ago, and then I didn't really pick it back up until recently, about a month ago, I think. So, yeah, I was only gonna do some, like, designs in it, but then it turned into an actual sketchbook. So, be warned, the first half of this is gonna be really old. Okay, so, here we go. I think, if anyone knows the game Bramble the Mountain King, it's a horror game, and I think it's based off it's similar to Little Nightmares, and I was making, one of the characters in my design. I probably spelled his name wrong, but he doesn't have pants in the actual game, but I gave him pants, because I couldn't, I wasn't really comfortable in drawing nudity back then. And then, here's another boss from the game. I just called her Vanessa. That's not her actual name. They just call her the midwife. But I just, drew her in my style. And then I have another drawing of her, and then I have, this random OC that I did that I never did again. And then we have, again, I just did a redesign of another one of the characters that is not their actual name. It's the Shapeshifters, their actual name. It's originally a girl, but I changed it to a guy, and I just gave him pants. And we have Quartz, his old design. She's the Queen of the Sirens. This is a very old design. I don't like it. And then we have something my friend did for me. She drew my character Liam in her style. And this is when I first got into Epic the Musical, and I drew my character Kyo, which is the god of air, as the I'm not gonna pronounce their name right. As the person who sings this song. I can't pronounce their name right. I don't want to butcher their name. And then I did back when I was in my arcane phase, I drew my own version of, I originally did, a gentleman version of Jinx, and then I made him my own character, and I made another character, based off of Echo. And here's Water Lily's old design. She's a mermaid right now, but she was originally just a nymph. And then there's more Evan. I don't draw him as much as I used to. And then here's a comic of Liam and Zach. I was originally going to give them a child, but I think I decided against it. I might bring her back, but at the time, I didn't really think Liam as a character would really want a kid, because daddy issues. And then I drew my character Sue, and then I was playing Animal Crossing, and my island reached 5 stars. I quit Animal. I don't know why it's so blurry. I quit Animal Crossing altogether just because my world kept getting deleted, and by the third time it happened, I was like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. And then here's some more Liam. And then this is some more of my island that I did. And then here's my character Ellie, my doll. And then some more Liam. As you can see, most of this is cut out, because at the time I had another sketchbook that I was not interested in finishing, so I just cut out all the pages and put it in here. Not that great of a decision, but at least it filled the pages. And then I did a full-on Christmas spread of the entire Everdon cast. So here's Dean, his old design, then we have Robert's old design, we have Walter, then we have Light, Jewel, and Matthew. And then we have Lucifer. And then we have Ellie and her redesign. And that's her old backstory. She's like, her story is that a old doll maker around the 1700s was really famous for making dolls, and he made this life-size doll and modeled after his daughter, and she passed away, and he made a deal with a demon to bring her back. But oh god, this is falling apart. And well, I don't know, I'm workshopping it, but you know, anyway, basically the demon brought Ellie to life instead of the daughter, and now Ellie stays in their old house, the old mansion, and she guards it against people, and like it's full of dolls and stuff. Thing. And then we have Moon, one of my circus characters. If you watch my recent shorts, you'll see my redesign for her. About my circus cast. They have a colored pencil sketch, Muzi the God of Water. And then we have Matthew, and then just something I did for church. Oh, and then there's a old Martha sketch that I really do not like. That was when I was like not really that good with body types. And then I'm trying so hard to hide her name, but my friend did another drawing of one of my characters. It's not Jason. His name is Jay now, but I changed it. And now we go into the recent stuff. So I think I watched the movie The Mist, the horror movie, and I drew I think I only watched half of it. I don't really think they ever revealed the monster yet, but I drew like what I thought it looked like. And then I drew the Goddess of Monsters. I made her really tall, like her legs should not be that long. And then I did a map of Maka, which is Jason's home world. And then I was trying to come up with the language. It's still in processing. And then I did some quick doodles of Alex, and I don't really know who she's supposed to be. I think she's supposed to be character based off by Playtime, Chapter 5. I think this is when that Chapter 5 came out, and I made my own design. And here we have Queen Jenna, which is from my another one of my stories I did. And I don't think I have her husband, but if you saw my other sketchbook tours, you'll recognize who she is. And this is when I was designing the colors of her dress. And then I did some Connor and Raven. I don't really draw them as much as I used to, probably because their designs changed so much. And then we have Chester, the personification of the fear of clowns and circuses. I think this was my first time drawing him. And this is the Star Nova drawing I did for someone. I think that was who it was for. Sorry if I spelled your thing wrong. And here's a OC challenge I was doing. That was my first design for her, and then this is the final design. Called her Hilda. And then this was a concept art I was doing for another god I was going to make. He's supposed to be like the god of memories, and like sort of like he was supposed to be based off Hermes, but I didn't like it. I don't know if I ever came back to him. And then this was when I was reaching Mermaid, and I did some shells. And then I named all my characters that are like part of the sea, like sea folks basically. And here's a concept art I was doing for a new Siren character called Calypso. Then we have a whole mermaid spread. So here we have Yasha, and then we have Water Lily and her redesign into a mermaid. Basically, the difference between mermaids and sirens is that mermaids are like freshwater, and sirens are deep water, or heavily salt water. They live like under this, like really deep, and then mermaids live near shore. That's why they can turn human on will, and sirens can't do that. And then we have Erebos. And then we have Lucifer, from the guy before, his redesign. And then we have Queen Quartz. And another siren character I made, but I redesigned him to be human. He was originally, his original story was that he was a sailor and he died, and he was brought back to life as a siren by Queen Quartz. But I changed the story was that he's a human king, and they form a political marriage to stop some polluting that's happening in their waters. But this is his old design. He's a human now. And then we have Spike, which is another type of merfolk. It's not really, they're not sirens, but they're not mermaids either. And they can live in like really polluted waters. And they survive off trash and stuff. They're often called trash maids, or trash mermaids, because of the highly intoxicated stuff they can inhale. And then we have another character I made, Brooks. He's another siren. And he works as a pop star. I always like the concept of a siren in disguise that's a pop star. So I made it into that's his siren form, that's his human form. I didn't color that. And then we have Cricket, and then I did 2 paintings of him. I think that's used with alcohol markers. Well, maybe I think they both are. Yeah, Gibbles, which is his type of monster, are highly attracted to light. So that's why I always draw him with fireflies, because he often follows them around. And then we have a Chester and Jinx spread. Jinx is like his adoptive daughter. And we have another little bear that follows them around. And then we have a redesign of the Goddess of Space. I think probably one of my favorite designs. And then we have some Leaf. And that's when I was coming up with the colors. And then we have Hornet from Hollow Knight Silk Song. And then I did a little pixie with a spider. And then I just did a watercolor of Flowerfield, and then I didn't finish it, but I was doing Alice in Wonderland. And then here's a painting, watercolor painting. I don't know, I was trying to correct it, because for some reason he kept saying it was crooked. And then we have Nori, the God of Curses. I think I said in a last video I was going to explain his lore. So briefly, he did something bad, and the King of the Gods, Demonica, he imprisoned him, and he will forever have, and to repay his debt for what he did, he has to punish those. So, like, amount of people. Okay. Let me think about how I'm going to explain this. Okay. So, a handful of people who did some pretty bad things, before they die, they will sometimes be sent to his realm, and they're there to be punished for their crimes and learn from them, so they don't get sent to hell. It's like one of the many ways that the gods are trying to decrease the population in hell. And that's his punishment. He has to live out his days basically being a judge. But he doesn't actually use his real body. This is his real body, but he has another form that he takes to like appear to the people. So the people never see this form. They don't know he's a god. They just think he's a weird Cheshire Cat kind of thing. It's based off Alice in Wonderland and the Amazing Digital Circus, if you haven't guessed already. But that's like basically what it is. And then I drew this random picture. I don't know what this is supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be a goddess being trapped, but I don't really like it. I don't like how it turned out. And then we have Guardian of Willow Isle, which is a story I was writing. So we have Caspin and his I can't pronounce it. I never can pronounce his name right. Oven, maybe. He's a merfolk. And some more Caspin. Caspin is an elf. And then I drew his little house. I'm not going to explain this story because it's kind of basic, and I don't want to make you guys listen to more lore. Then we have some more King Leaf pictures, King of the Fairies. And then we have some Jason and Martha pictures. Jason. And then we have Elizabeth, the goddess of love. She's based off of a dove. I was taking its inspiration from some Aphrodite fan art. And then we have the goddess of beauty, she's based off Hera with the peacocks. And then we have this random dinosaur I drew. I don't know what it's supposed to be. I hate it. And then we have Cold of the Lamb Woolhaven fan art of one of this dragon we meet and her eggs. And then we have Aubrey, the goddess of marriage and childbirth spread. She's also the queen of hell. Her story is based off Persephone, but it's not that. It's very similar, but not exactly the same. And then we have Shung, the god of hell, or the devil, I guess. And then we have some more Martha. I think I drew her too thin in this picture. And then we have some more Cricket. I think I was doing this like for a concept of the title for a comic I was going to do. I don't know if I'll finish that because the motivation that I had for it went down the drain. And then we have a watercolor I did of Erebos. Andries is the vampire guy. And then we have some more Travis with a mouse. I'm not explaining his lore either because of how long it is. Well, not really long, complicated, and this video is already becoming too long. And then we have a Jason info sheet. If you want to read that, just pause it. And then we have some Martha info sheet. And we just have something to fill out the page. We have Liam and the blush meter meme. And we have some more Liam with some things that represent him. And then here's the the Monster Sea challenge that I did. He's the dragon, Kinko, and part of his and his boyfriend. And then the Fairy OC challenge I did him. I think I'm gonna keep him as I have. I like his design too much. I'm gonna keep both of them as they are. I thought I was gonna change the wings, but I kinda like the pop of random color. And they have the Goddess of Fortune. I was redrawing a picture I did way back. And then we have some more Kinko and his boyfriend. I can't pronounce these names, I'm sorry. And we have some Robin and Velvet. Briefly, their story is that Robin became a fallen angel. They're both angels, they were best friends. And Robin became fallen, and Velvet went to Earth to find her, but she had lost all her memories, so now she's set on bringing her girlfriend back. And then we have some more King Leaf. And then we have Andy, the Sandman, God of Dreams. Tried to make his cape like sand. And then a mini comic of Suki and Vincent, two of my vampire characters. Then I did Kinko and his boyfriend's relationship chart. And then Jewel and her 18th birthday portrait. And then some Chester and Royam. And this is just a redo of a painting from earlier. And finally, we have Bramble, which is my old type of fae. And that's it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video.